Hey, what's up? My name is Cade, and today, as you can see, I'm going to be talking about how to use an STP. If you've used an STP, I'm sure you've had the experience of peeing on yourself even just a little bit. I'm going to give you a few tips on how to avoid that as much as possible. First, I want to go ahead and explain what an actual STP is. I'll also show you a few different examples. Soon, I'm going to be reviewing a few different new STPs, so you're gonna wanna watch this video and maybe save it for later so you know the best ways that you can make your STP work for you. An STP is a stand-to-pee device, usually in the shape of a penis. I've seen a few that are more just like a cone shape, but for the most part, they're shaped like penises. People that use an STP are usually trans-masculine individuals because using an STP and packing with it really does help relieve dysphoria. At least in my experience, it's helped me a lot. Especially at the beginning of my transition, being able to have the packer/STP in my pants and going to the men's room, walking up to a urinal or usually a stall for me, and just being able to actually stand and pee gives me so much gender euphoria and makes me feel so much more comfortable in my body. Since there is usually a lot less stalls in the men's room, I think it's really nice and a good idea to learn how to use an STP, just in case if, your bladder is screaming at you, you really gotta go, and the only thing that's available are urinals. Now let's talk about why you might be still peeing on yourself, even with quite a bit of practice using an STP. Whether it be backflow, your pee is just going to the side of your leg, a few different things can occur. To help better explain so you can totally understand how to correctly use the STP, I'm gonna show you some anatomy. And it's gonna be assigned female at birth anatomy. It's going to be super basic. I'm not gonna go in depth on it. I will be using the actual terms, so keep that in mind. But I highly encourage you to sit through this part of the video so you can still understand, do you wanna stop peeing on yourself? Because I think this piece of advice really will help. Like I said, it is super basic and, don't make fun of my drawing skills, but here we go. Ooh. Okay, so this is the basic assigned female at birth anatomy. I drew it in the way where someone would be taking some testosterone for a while, so this is more enlarged. If you did not already know, you, or assigned female at birth individuals, have 3 holes. So the first hole is your urethra, which is right here, and that is above your vagina/front hole, depending on how you want to actually talk about your holes. And then finally, the very bottom, your anus / your booty hole. A little bit above the urethra is the clitoris, or what many transmasculine individuals like to call it is their T-dick, or bottom growth, and that is right here. Besides just general sex education, there is a reason why I actually went over this. So let's take your average STP, and this is the Packer Gear Ultra Smooth STP. I will link my review in the description below. What is going to be happening is you are peeing out of your urethra, and there is a little bit of a separation between your urethra and then your front hole. For many people is how they're positioning their STP, they're putting it closer to their front hole, which would cause overflow on the front. The other thing that I've noticed is people are covering and using it where their T-dick is just on the inside, so it's about right here. So part of that, it actually makes more backflow happen because there's not as much space inside the cup. What you're gonna wanna do is find your urethra. I would even recommend getting a mirror and trying to figure out exactly where it's at on your body. Depending on the STP and everybody's personal bodies, sometimes you would be able to actually put your bottom growth inside the STP hole, but I feel like to be able to get the most space as possible to prevent the most backflow as possible, just aim yourself and your urethra straight down that hole. So another reason why you might be peeing on yourself is your pee control and pee power. If you've watched any of my STP reviews in the past, you know that I have a very powerful stream. Because of that, I've had to train my bladder to, only pee a little bit at a time if I'm using an STP. Every STP is made a little bit different. The ones that I recommend the most, especially if you have a powerful stream, is finding any of the STPs that actually have a little lip on it. This is the Squire that I most recently reviewed. The Easy Pee is a really good example. There's a few others that actually have a lip, so there's a lot less chance of even if your pee is just starting to fill up that cup, it gives you at least a tiny bit of safety. If you've only tried one STP so far and you realize that it doesn't work great for you, first try out all the tips that I recommended today, and then if it's still not working for you, I'd say look to buy another STP. After you get your STP, what you're gonna wanna do is practice, practice, practice. First, I would say grab your STP and pee in the shower, like use it in the shower, because even if you get backflow, even if you pee on yourself, it's just like no clothes are getting dirty and it's just gonna wash down the drain. After you start to feel really confident about peeing in the shower with your STP, I recommend just trying out the toilet at home. And after you're feeling really like solid on that, try it out in public. I'd say try out a bathroom stall first in public. I feel like the anxiety of having other people in the room while you're peeing can really work up a nerve. So get a lot of practice doing it in a public toilet. And then finally, the graduation, what you're really trying to look for is to be able to actually use the STP in a urinal. There really are so many different options, and I'm really excited to try out a few of these new STPs I'm gonna review in the next few weeks. Sometimes there's a search to find the one that's best for you, but if you wanna have some help with that search, I do have a full playlist reviewing Packers and STPs. You can check out a full playlist right here. Ooh. And if you'd like to see more videos like this in the future, make sure to give it a big old thumbs up and subscribe below. Have a great day, I'll see you next time.